Hello, beautiful people. Today is Monday, and you don't have to make it a great day because today is already great. Let me tell you why. You're about to spend 5 minutes using word and wisdom to discover, develop, and deploy your unique greatness so that you can change the world. So lean in. This is the Daily Devo. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to the Daily Devo. I'm your host, Losco, and I'm so incredibly excited that you all have joined us once again for another episode of the Daily Devo. Last week was incredible. I pray. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Last week, um, I really think I hit something that's really important. And not only was it important, but I think I hit something that is very timely for us all. It's very important. We've been talking about purpose for so long this entire season. I mean, honestly, this entire season is about purpose. We started this year off by saying that this was the year of execution. That there are some things that have been in your heart. There are some things that God has been putting on your mind, and it's time to execute on those things. But in order for us to execute on those things, it's important for us to understand that pursuing purpose requires that we stop performing in some areas of our lives. So we've been talking about how to stop performing, and not only how to stop performing, but how to supplement that which we've been getting as a result of the performance. That there are some emotional needs that the performance was meeting for us, and that was beneficial for those that we were performing for. But it didn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what we were supposed to be doing. Just because they are benefiting from it, and just because you enjoy doing it, doesn't mean that that's what you're supposed to be doing. And I really hope that sank in with us last week. I really hope that we got that down into our being. We talked about so much. If you haven't had an opportunity to check out last week's episodes, I highly recommend that you do. But before I go any further talking about last week, I really need to jump into what we're going to do this week. Okay, so in seminary, they have this thing called Reading Week. Now, Reading Week is supposed to be a week where you don't have classes, but you have an opportunity to read materials. Now, most of the time, Reading Week turns into a break, right? And we are actually in a season of Reading Week right now. And what I want to do this week on the Daily Devo is engage in a little Reading Week. I want to go into something that I wrote a couple of years ago called Bleed a While. Now, some of you may have heard of this book, may have even purchased this book. If you want to grab it, you can go to my website, loscospeaks.com, LOSCO speaks.com, and there's a link to grab this book there. But I want to just read some excerpts from this book this week and really talk about them because this book I wrote as a situational playbook for life. It's not meant to be read completely in one sitting. You could do that if you would like, but this is supposed to be something that you go back to continually as certain things pop up in your life. Now, I want to talk about this thing called identity because identity is something that we've subliminally been speaking about as it pertains to our purpose and performance. But I want to read something that I wrote on identity. And there's this little part that I wrote on this chapter of identity that says, identity is defined as the fact of being who or what a person or thing is. Listen to this. In mathematics, identity is defined as transformation that leaves an object unchanged. Transformation that leaves an object unchanged. In other words, that an object can go through certain things, but its identity remains unchanged. When you are asking yourself who you are, when you are trying to discover your identity, that is the question that you should be asking. When you go through life's circumstances, when you get through life's different levels and plateaus, when all else has left, when the performance stops, when you're no longer on the stage, when people are not applauding anymore, what remains? Who are you? And if you cannot answer that question, you have not spent enough time with yourself to discover who you truly are. And might I suggest that you have not spent enough time with God for God to show you not just who you've been, but who God created you to be. Identity. When all else has changed, what remains? There's so much more in this section of identity in this book, Bleed a While. I want y'all to make sure you grab that. You can go to my website, loscospeaks.com, to grab that, to grab this book. We're going to be reading excerpts from this book all week long. I spent a lot of time recapping last week because I was so excited about it. But we're going to read a little bit more this week during the reading week of the Daily Devo. And I pray that just that little excerpt has been a blessing to you. Listen, before tomorrow hits, share the Daily Devo with someone. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good day.